This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Hey, good morning to you. First Alert Weather Breakdown time. It's 10:30. It's a weekday. Not only do I have myself, I have meteorologist CJ Cartledge. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Love being here on the First Alert Weather Breakdown. How are you doing today, Evan?
It's nice. It's I'm doing nice. It's a Tuesday. Some of you might not be doing as nice with the rain around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it. And first of all, may I say, this started way early this morning. It started on my commute to work.
Wow,
I think it actually woke me up. I think with maybe a lightning strike last night.
Yeah.
I recall something like that, waking up to that. I know I woke up to my alarm, but I think something shortly afterward I heard certainly some thinking of a fancy word for noise, but I guess noise is the only word I can think
Noise.
of. A strange, loud noise outside.
The
yes.
thunder. You heard the
Yes.
thunder outside.
Mm-hmm.
That storm is rolling through, or the system is rolling through. It's luckily not bringing any severe weather to the area, but I did see that it was mostly cloudy outside when I woke up, so I was just like, let me just take an extra 15 minutes to sleep in, just a little bit before I get up, you know? That's the vibes for today. You know, it's mostly cloudy, raining. It's just sleepy weather for today, just chillax weather.
Yep, that is how it is rolling here for today. Just getting still everything tidied on behind the scenes. Thank you, by the way, for those of you watching from Facebook. We don't do this every day, but we figured that we'd do it today, especially with chances of flash flooding around with all the rain around here. Between today and tomorrow. In fact, we did see, and I believe this is still ongoing, we do have a flash flood warning in effect for Shreveport and Bossier. We'll get to that radar picture here in just a second. But this just goes to show our issue here with the day today. Again, I woke up to rain back at 2 in the morning. It's now 10:30, and we still have the presence of a complete blanket of rain around the Arklatex still 8 hours later. And the issue is this is ongoing still, as you were saying, still till tonight, all the way until tomorrow morning as well.
Yeah. It's one of two weather makers that we have here for this week, or at least 3 that we're expecting later on this week on Saturday as well. But details on that are still to be determined since that's day 5 out on this Storm Prediction Center, I believe.
Yep, you got it.
Still holding on to that slight risk too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we don't want to spoil things too early. We want to get into what's going on right now first.
Yep, so let's get to our little agenda here for the day today. CJ, now I know normally on Tuesdays we usually do TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
That is, unfortunately, looks to be a thing of the past. But, hey, we've evolved, and we're now bringing in a viral weather video.
Yeah.
To say per se, right?
Yeah, this is a weather video about, this is pretty much something that I did to talk about the atmospheric river that is expected to move into the western coastlines of the United States, mainly into California. An atmospheric river, which I will explain in the video, is expected to dump a boatload of rainfall as well as snow in the higher elevations in California as well as on the coastlines of California as well. So that was just me. The video is just me talking about yesterday about what's to come Wednesday night into our Friday morning for California.
Wow.
We're expecting to get a similar amount of rainfall, but they're getting a little bit more rainfall than what we would get through the next 7 days here. Definitely something we do not want to see.
Hold up. Did you just say they are getting more rainfall than here?
Yes, they may be getting more rainfall than what we are expecting for this week.
Strange. Wild.
Yeah.
Especially with the rainfall totals that I know we're going to go over in this first alert with a breakdown.
Oh, really?
That we have still ongoing between today and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So, wild. All right, so let's get into kind of the rundown of the graphics here. All right, first, here's your local forecast. We're going to go into that before we go into CJ's atmospheric river in California here locally. Here's a live look at your Window World camera here in Texarkana. It's, well, gloomy. We've certainly seen better days around the Arklatex in the region here. As we're continuing to see rain showers in the northern half of the region. We'll take a look at the radar picture here in just a moment, but here's the skyline also out towards Shreveport and Bossier. More gloomy skies. See, if it's not raining, it's definitely cloudy, gloomy, yucky, especially around with the wet roadways around. We have found ourselves around with a few few traffic alerts here earlier on this morning. So overall, drive safely. Please be careful. Give yourself some extra time. Again, this is not just something that hangs around for the morning that you're going to be able to dodge, but this is going to be something that carries on well into the afternoon commute for some of you as well.
Right now, looking at the current radar picture with First Alert Doppler radar, we are dealing with light to moderate rain showers. Not so much heavy, maybe in some few pockets down there to the south and east. But we're dealing with pretty much mostly calm conditions out there. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder. I know I did hear a rumble of thunder before I came into work this morning, but that was only one out of all this mess that we'll be dealing with for today. And this is expected to continue into some of this afternoon, pretty much most of this afternoon actually, and maybe into the overnight hours as well.
Yeah, it's going to persist on, and not only is it rainy, it's cold. This is one of my worst kinds of weather, honestly. We have temperatures stuck in the 40s with rain. It's, in my opinion, if it's going to be cold enough, maybe, introduce a little winter precip. That's just my opinion, to be fair. But
the temperatures are too high for that. Look at that. We're in the 40s.
We're in the 40s. The point is, we're not even close to 32 degrees, even though you definitely feel the chill walking out the door here for the day today. And might I add, before we get into the rest of this forecast, and we're about to go on the future track, if you have any questions, feel free to leave it to us on Facebook and YouTube. We'll go over questions a little later after we go over this full weather forecast. All right, so on the future track, and for the next 2 hours or so, we'll continue to see heavier concentrations of rainfall, especially around Natchitoches in the northwest Louisiana overall. But as we persist into the afternoon, you see showers get a little more isolated. Looks like we could dry up areas in the northern half of the Arklatex while we still continued a persistent rain coverage all around the southern half of the Arklatex. This could still reach as far north as the I-20 corridor around Shreveport and out eastward towards Ruston and Minden, even through the afternoon hours today. Now, you'd think this is the end of it, but the problem is we form more showers and storms behind the initial line that are still going to roll into the region here for tonight. And this could end anywhere around the Arklatex still. In fact, you go into the overnight and the early morning hours of tomorrow, it looks like another complete blanket of rain showers and storms again found across the region here for your Wednesday morning. Thankfully, by the school time, once we get those kiddos to school, it looks like things are mostly over, except around Natchitoches and Hemphill. And some of that rain could still even persist in the areas around Natchitoches all the way in through lunchtime tomorrow before finally drying up. But we still got lots of rain to get through. Again, we're not completely drying up those skies until, again, tomorrow morning. And this is kind of the damage of what's been done here on top of what we've already gotten from this morning.
Yeah, the next 3 days shows possibly up to 4 inches, maybe more than 4 inches down near Winfield Parish and Natchitoches Parish as well. Mostly 3 to 4 inches for areas just south and east of Shreveport and into portions of eastern Texas. The rain totals look to trickle off as you move up to the north and west, mainly because of those main lines moving through areas south of the I-20 corridor and around it as well. So still Still a good deal of rainfall on the way for us through the next 3 days at least, but the next 7-day outlook seems to be just a little bit more than that due to the next system that will be rolling through on Saturday.
Yeah, and we'll get into that pretty much right now. So Saturday's system is still giving us our next main chance of scattered storms, but this system is looking to be almost completely different from the one that's rolling through currently. The one that's moving through currently it's slow moving. It's stuck with us for the next 24 hours or so. The one moving through on Saturday looks to have a little more speed with it and a little more momentum as well, as indicated by multiple weather models. It's giving us even a slight chance of severe weather, and what we do mean by that is we could have the chance of, yes, tornadoes on the table here for Saturday. Thankfully, Saturday is still a good 5 days away. We're going to keep you first alert. The more we know on the system that carries onto the Arklatex, and the closer we get into Saturday, essentially. So stay with us and stay tuned. But overall, yes, we do have this slim 15% chance of a severe weather risk here throughout the day on Saturday. And some of that could even start on Friday night as well. Yes, for the lovers, Valentine's Day is on Friday night, so watch out for those dates after work.
Yeah, watch out for those dates after work. We do have a slight chance for rain, I believe, on our Friday, as seen yesterday and for today. But here's the temperatures, or feels like temperatures, through the day today. We're expecting to feel like the 40s for the most part for most areas around I-20 and northward, and the 50s for areas to the south of us here. And as we move into the overnight hours, of course, it gets a little bit cooler. And waking up on Wednesday morning, pretty much the same, or actually similar to how we will see for our Tuesday afternoon, or similar to where we are now, just a little bit cooler through the overnight hours before it begins to warm up through the day on Wednesday. As you can see, that green line looks to be moving a little bit northward. We're expecting highs to increase just a little bit higher from what we saw for today, or what we will see for today. 55 in Shreveport, 40 still near DeQueen and Idabel up to the far northern portions of the region, possibly near the 60s near Hemphill and Natchitoches in terms of feels like temperatures, by the way.
I was just gonna say, and then that's all before temperatures roll back down. Oh my goodness, look at these feels like temperatures. That's down below freezing. Waking up on Thursday morning. You thought you were done with the Arctic cold? Well, it looks like it's coming back here for the end of this work week for our Thursday and Friday morning. That's not going to come with any precipitation, though. Let me keep that straight on your head here for you. But tending into your 7-day forecast now, we got rainy conditions, at least for the next 2 days. But again, watch out for those storms that are hitting on Saturday, too. And then, CJ, would you like to go over the roller coaster of temperatures that's in store for the next 7 days?
Well, we're expecting the 50s today, 60s by Wednesday, back down into the 40s by Thursday. A little bit of a warming trend as we head into this weekend, especially for Valentine's Day, looking like mostly maybe a few partly cloudy skies out there, but maybe some slight rain chances as well. It's going to be pretty fair out there for those dates. If you're going to take your loved ones out for Valentine's Day, it's looking good for the most part. But look at those lows on Friday morning, Valentine's Day morning, in the 30s. Some of us may be down in the 20s by Thursday morning. But as we head into this weekend, we're expecting the next weather maker to roll through and potentially bring some severe weather. Stay weather aware for that once again. And we're expecting yet again another cool down as we head into Sunday. Similar to how we saw maybe a couple weeks ago on Sunday. But the lows return to the 30s, highs return into those upper 40s and lower 50s out there before President's Day. Looks to be somewhat seasonable conditions once again.
Yeah, maybe they'll stick around for once instead of being consistently up and down. My goodness, I tried to portray an actual representation of these temperatures on my social media page, by the way, on Facebook.
Oh, I did see that.
So it's all over the place is our point. And again, watch out for those storms, mainly happening today and tomorrow. And again on Saturday with another system coming on through yet again. Lots to get through, especially severe weather-wise. And I think you already hinted to this. There's another system potentially coming in the middle of next week, too. So it's just one round after another. And because we're continuing to weave through these systems, our temperatures weren't really settled. We cool down behind these cold fronts, then we bring up back the warm air and the moisture along from the Gulf. So it keeps things interesting, but it's not good for your sinuses.
It's not good for your sinuses or the allergies at all.
No.
Just the multitude of systems that'll be rolling through, as well as the warming trends that we would see with the mostly clear conditions with the high pressure system then low, high then low. It's just a whirlwind of temperatures and wet weather ahead for us.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that was a look at our local forecast. When we come back, we're going to look at CJ's weather video, which includes looking at the atmospheric river in California. And on top of that, if you've asked any questions on Facebook and YouTube, I promise we will get to that as well later on in the First Alert Weather Breakdown. If you sit tight and hang back and relax with us, we'll be back right after this. All right, well, welcome on back. Don't know why I went Elvis there. Welcome on back to the First Alert Weather Breakdown. I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason. CJ, thanks for joining in. Again, I know, I'm sorry, we don't have TikToks anymore. But guess what? Again, we come up with something even better. In fact, I didn't even realize you were doing this, CJ.
Mm-hmm.
You put together your own weather videos, not just for the podcast, but you've been doing this for some of the afternoon shows as well that you're going to show us here on the First Alert Weather Breakdown?
Yes, like getting a little bit more involved in the 6 p.m. show now. Just talking about any weather videos or anything interesting going on in the weather, from talking about Japan last week with the nearly 4 feet of snow that they received, to talking about different things that are going on with the weather. Yesterday, I talked about the atmospheric river, where even more snow potentially is expected to dump into the higher elevations of California. So that's basically what I'll be talking about here with the atmospheric river.
Wow, wild. All right, well, we'll hop into that video. We'll have some thoughts afterward. And if you have any comments or questions, guess what? You can pop that on our Facebook and YouTube. We're going to go over that after this video from CJ. Thanks, man. We'll see you after this.
While the Arklatex is expecting a good deal of rainfall through the next 7 days, so is California, and this is mainly due to an atmospheric river, which is a long and narrow path of moisture that flows right into the western coastlines of the United States here, and it could produce some heavy precipitation in terms of rain as well as snow for most areas along the coast and in the higher elevations that you see there in the bluish color, expecting some heavy snowfall and even some rain on the other side of the Sierra Nevada mountains. Let's take a quick look at our rainfall potential for areas in the western coastlines of the United States here, possibly up to, this is peaking out at between 5 to 7 inches of rainfall. For most areas, it looks to receive at least 2 inches of rain through the duration of this system as it moves into the California area, as you can see. But looking at the snowfall in the higher elevations, 52 inches at the highest here, 45 for Lakeshore, and that is all because of this atmospheric river. Now, the sunny days are over for now here in the Arklatex, but at least we won't be expecting this heavy precipitation in terms of rain or snow here in the area.
Wild. Wow. Crazy
Yeah.
stuff, man. So, first of all, when it came to like researching the subject, did you expect to kind of find this much rain and snow in this kind of area?
I kind of expected it because, I've researched a little bit about atmospheric rivers, especially, of course, because before I came on air with it. But yeah, I kind of expected that the rainfall totals would get as high as they are forecasted to, between maybe 5 to 7 inches as what they were peaking at. But I did not expect the snowfall to be nearly 52 inches up there in the higher elevations of California. You don't see that every day, for sure.
So for reference, 52 inches, that's what, 4 feet?
4 feet and like 4 inches.
That was me in early high school.
as tall as a 7 to 9 year old kid, for sure. That's insane.
Wait, hold up. I just said early high school, right?
Early high school?
Yes.
I mean, 7 to 9 year old kids could be that height, 4'4".
They can. The problem was I was one of the shortest kids in my school.
I was too. I was too growing up, and still short to this day.
We've made this joke before on the First Alert Weather Breakdown about how
man.
we have one of the shortest weather teams, I think, in all of the land.
Yep.
I'm the tallest one at 5'9".
I knew he was going to say it.
5'8".
He loves to brag about it all the
I
time.
don't brag about it. Am I bragging about being 5'8"?
Man, that was the first thing you said when you came here. Man, I'm the tallest person here.
Hey, let's just say it's a miracle. All right. But anyways, the point is, it goes way high. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. I mean, I can imagine shoveling that to clear paths, roadways,
Exactly.
infrastructure to be able to smoothly run through those areas. It's, wow, ridiculous.
It makes you think about the highest ever snowfall totals recorded in the United States, actually. It was actually on one of these mountains in the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. It was actually in, actually forget the name, but I remember the snow totals. It was 451 inches of snowfall. This was recorded back in I believe it was 27. Or no, it was 1911 that was on the mountains of California. So that was the highest ever snowfall total in the United States was there in the mountains of California, 451. But it wasn't the highest snowfall total ever in the world. It was actually 465 recorded in Japan in 1911 as well.
Wow.
So 400 feet, 400 inches, 400 inches. That is, I don't even want to know. I do the math. I can't do the math of that. That's a lot of
400
numbers
divided
right
by 12. Let's see here. That's 30
something, 30 feet,
something like that.
37 feet.
30. Yes. I think it's in
37
that
feet.
ballpark. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That is about 6 or 7 me's.
Way up there.
6 or 7 CJs or 8 maybe. But that's although anyways, that's insane.
If your measuring unit is CJs. Yeah. Uh-huh. Interesting. All right. Anyways, I think the last question I have with this as well is we've heard about the wildfires ongoing in Southern California.
Mhm.
This is kind of in a different section of the state. Obviously, California is huge
Mhm.
in size. But do you know if some of this helps them out? Do you know if some of it went into Southern California at all?
I believe some of it did flow into Southern California as well. It's actually running along the entire coast of California as this low pressure system is enormous, likes to run through California, at least the coastlines of it. And once this air or the moisture rises up into the mountains, it's basically squeezing all the moisture together from the lower elevations and the higher elevation. It's just literally dumping it onto the mountains once it gets to over top of where the mountains are. So it's just insane.
It's like pinching it.
It's like pinching it and then releasing everything.
That's why. Man. Wild stuff. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, I'll look forward to this for next week. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I'm always ecstatic about anything when it comes to large, major weather scale events. So, yeah, look forward to what you have in store for us next week. For those of you being patient on Facebook and YouTube, we'll get to your comments if you have any, or questions if you have any. After this break, we'll take one more break before we wrap up this episode. Stick with us. First Alert Weather Breakdown will be breaking down after this 2-minute break. See ya. All right, welcome back. First Alert Weather Breakdown. Last little segment here. It appears that nobody... Let me double check. Double checking on YouTube. Don't see any comments on YouTube. Facebook. Jonathan says hello from Minden. Hello, Jonathan.
Hello.
Hello, hi. Hello there. We're actually going to get one last check of the weather radar for you guys out before we end this episode. If I can pull this up real quick. Overall, I think you get the picture from what we said earlier. It's a complete blanket. That's the word I like to use a lot for this. Overall, it's just pretty much everywhere. Everywhere in the Arclitex. Let's go over that radar picture again one more time. We got light rain going over Shreveport and Bossier. And we still do have, I do want to go over this one more time. It appears we still do have that flash flood warning in effect. If I zoom into the radar, there you go. You see that green box there in Shreveport and Bossier. This got issued around, I believe it was issued, I think somewhere around 9 o'clock this morning. Actually, I think it was 8:30. It was around 8:30 this morning. Flash flood warning in effect until 11:30. So still in effect for the next 30 minutes while we still have that light rain in place. This is issued by the National Weather Service. Just watch out for urban flooding, essentially. Any low-lying streets, watch out for those big puddles anywhere around the greater Shreveport, Bossier area. That should expire soon, especially as we might head into a drier pocket of rain or drier pocket of weather here sometime soon. I'm going to zoom out that radar here in just a second. I'm just clearing that flash flood warning out for you. And then zooming on out. You'll see some more, excuse me, more of that moderate and heavier types of rain showers right now moving out towards Monroe and is on top of Natchitoches here at this point. But again, we still have that light rain coverage as far north as Texarkana. And for those along I-30 still, up by Prescott as well. And still rain even into McCurtain County. So this is going to be something that lasts, again, all day long today. You could face some brief dry moments, yes. But overall, it's going to be a soggy, moist, wet, and on top of all that, cold environment, which is just the bad icing on top of the cake.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that pretty
Okay.
much does make sense. Yeah. So pretty dreary looking conditions through most of this week, but good to see some sunshine. Thankfully, by the time Valentine's Day rolls around.
So yeah, Jonathan from Minden, if you're still watching, you still got rain on top right now, and you still got rain for a while. Granted, most of it's light rain. And that's one of the good things about this. We're not finding too many pockets of heavy rainfall. It's there, don't get me wrong. But especially because this is a slow meandering system, it doesn't have the momentum moving it forward. We don't have that chance for tornadic activity rolling on through, especially with high Cape levels or anything like that, which is essentially energy for the system. So it's just incredibly saturated, incredibly humid, even on top of a very cold atmosphere. So, yeah. It is winter. It is February. T-shirt and shorts weather of last week is gone.
Yeah, T-shirts and shorts is long gone. Since Saturday, where we saw those daily record highs just go down. All of them just got, most of them actually.
What was the high back this past Saturday? Is some of the high temperatures that you saw?
For Shreveport, it was 88. And we broke that record by a whole 5 degrees. And Texarkana reached 90 degrees, which tied the highest temperature recorded in the month of February for Texarkana ever since the start of recording.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the temperature drop after that was immense, too.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a big drop, for sure.
Temperatures this morning in Texarkana were in the lower 40s. So, as I said earlier, roller coaster of temperatures. That continues all work week long, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks again for joining me, CJ, on another Tuesday episode with you. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure to be on the Weather Breakdown.
Cool, man. All right, so we'll see you again tomorrow, 10:30 on for your Wednesday. We're going to go over the rain for tomorrow's forecast, or tomorrow's weather breakdown again for tomorrow. Make sure to join us tomorrow, 10:30, Wednesday. Be there, be square, and most importantly, be weather aware. You have a great rest of your day. Again, make sure you drive safely with all the rain around. And yeah, thanks again, CJ, and we'll see you tomorrow on the first weather breakdown again tomorrow. Wednesday, 10:30. Got all the details down. We'll see you later now. Peace
See
out.
you later.